Planet Coaster 2 has been out for almost a full month now, and I haven't done something yet. Try to build some kind of coaster with a ridiculous challenge attached to it. Now, that is going to change today, because we're going to attempt to push Planet Coaster 2's, albeit very good coaster builder, and see just how much you can do with it. Now, this challenge is going to be, can you build a smooth, and I'm going to say smooth, and realistic coaster in 15 minutes. Now, to the average person, that might sound pretty easy. You just go into the layout, put some loops down, call it a day. Not for us, though. We're going to see if we can build something I would consider channel-worthy in 15 minutes, which is going to be hard. So, now we're in the game. The challenge isn't going to start now, because there's no way I'm going to be able to figure out what coaster I want to build, place it down, and start it without wasting precious time. So the challenge is officially going to start from when I place the coaster down and we go. That's it. So this start will be deliberating what we're going to do, and I think the best way we're going to be able to do this is with a launch coaster. Now, you could argue that doing the 1 hour challenge, like yada yada, doing the launch, I did the lift hill. I think realistically a launch is going to be the easiest way of doing this. So I think we're going to go with a launch. And there's a coaster type I've yet to use in game, which I know everybody jumped to immediately, which I want to try, which is the Vekoma MK1101. Now, this is the Top Gun style, obviously, and everyone was complaining about the fact you can only put 2 cars down, but it makes sense as to why you can't. It's based off this model. So enough yapping, though. We are going to get going. Now, as I said, the timer will officially start, or I will press the start button as soon as the coaster is placed down. So let's prepare ourselves for 15 minutes of pure ridiculousness. So we're going to start in 3, 2, 1... now. Right, we've got 15 minutes. First things first, I hate this station. It's too big. Time to go. Perfect. Things that are going to slow me down is the fact that this game has edit mode, which is a separate tab. Now, that annoys me and means that we can't build as fast as I'd like to. But, you know what? We're going to have to learn, and we're going to have to do things quickly. So, we're going to have a quick start there. Move it down to a pitched curve. Don't need track supports for now. Pitch that up to 2 degrees. And then we're going to have an LSM launch that's about that long. I'm going to go for a Top Gun style layout, I think. So banking offset of 4 foot because I want it to keep all the shaping, and we're basically just going to build. These coasters have really, really large heart lines because of, if you can see quickly, how high the car sits. So what we need to do is create really curved elements to make something really cool. So I know for a fact that these guys start rolling, I think, at like the top here, and they go down about this way. I know we've only got 15 minutes, but I do somewhat care about shaping. That is when we then start to go to the other part of the element, which is the rolling out about here. Oh, that looks really tight. But it looks something like this. If you're wondering why I've never used this coaster yet, it's because I've just been distracted by all the B&Ms. If I'm completely honest with you, I've been building far too many B&Ms recently. First things first, I just need to know how much speed this is going to have, so test it and go very quickly. Why are we paused? No, we're not paused. Why won't it test? G-force is 4 Gs, that's pretty good. That speed's fine. That's fine, that'll do. It's intense, but it'll do. This is going to be a pretty short layout, but what I want to do is try and have all of the layout done by 6 minutes in, so that we can have 6 minutes of just pure smoothing. Actually, a stall would be cool. Let's do a stall instead. That looks pretty big for the size of coaster we were actually building, so quick little roll, and then it's going to roll back the other way. No, have it roll the complete other way as well. And then it'll go over the station and stuff, and that'll be cool. You're probably shouting at me being like, you can be a lot faster with the way you're placing all these pieces, and that's me somewhat caring about shaping, because the point is, we're going to see if we can build a channel-worthy coaster, aka something I would actually put on this channel and say, yeah, I spent time on this. Actually, one massive logical thing to do would be build the brake run now. -2, have a little curve, have that be there. This coaster doesn't have drive tyres, which I think is really strange. Magnetic brake, more magnetic brakes, that's an LSM. And that'll do. Right, that is the brake run. We have to roughly get it back to that point. Right, immediately, I want this thing to go up on a pretty steep angle now. you're probably not gonna, there's not gonna be very good commentary on this video, as I always often do in my challenge videos, because I end up just getting really focused in on trying to actually build something that looks alright. I guess it's like a reverse Stengel dive, maybe? That could be cool. Let's do that. I really hope this is going to have enough speed to do this element, because I'm not reshaping it. And it's going to go over the brake front into a... like a turn, another right-hand turn. This is really testing me as how well... Okay, we're coming up to 9 minutes. We are really going to have to, like... It doesn't seem very compact, but we're going to have to test it. I'm going to have to know what it rides like. As long as it's got, like, okay speed through everything, I'll be quite happy. That's actually pretty good. As far as, like, things go, it's pretty gentle, but it'll do the trick for what we need it to do. Right, this thing has no airtime so far, so we need to do an airtime hill. And a pretty steep one to dodge the launch. Actually pretty good. We've got 8 minutes left. And I'm putting together how I'm going to have this thing end, which means we're just going to fire it round here to do another right-hand curve. This is the coaster with all of the right-hand curves, but that's just how some things line up, so it's fine. The good thing about this game's new coaster builder is that it's actually really easy to keep the shaping of things that you've just smoothened. Smoothened is not a word. Smoothed. Okay, we've got 7 minutes left. We are officially halfway in, and we have nearly the whole layout. Well, I say nearly the whole layout. Something that I would consider almost a whole layout. I'll do another airtime hill, but this one will just go over the station. Never mind, that's going to just collide really poorly with that. Actually, what about... Just had an idea. We've got time, we have 6 minutes. That's not a lot of time, but it is enough time. No, really low to the ground, like Fury 325 style, like stall. I don't know, I'm struggling onto where to go with this thing, you know. In fairness, actually, if we just start firing it towards the exit, the end now, we should make it in time. I apologise to all the Vekoma nerds. This is not going to be a very Vekoma style layout. 6 minutes left. Come on, we can do it. I'm not going to count things like adding, well, I say adding supports, like enabling the supports and stuff onto the time. That's a bit different. That's stuff that'll just have to happen when it happens. So if you see that and the colour and stuff change before like the POV and stuff, that's just going to have happened so that I don't get annoyed by the fact that it doesn't have any ending. Nope, I'm just going to do it properly instead. Stop being lazy. We have 5 minutes left. That is awful, and I'm scared. I'm actually got no idea how to end this thing without it being awful. So, it's like turning into Icon at the end with all these like twisty bits and stuff. I don't really know. 4 minutes. 4 minutes is terrifying, and I'm actually kind of scared that we aren't going to have this done. No, we're going to have this done. We're going to have this done. I believe. You will just have to bear with me that the shaping at the end is not going to be fantastic. Oh wow, it really isn't fantastic. Okay, so now we have to do the fastest round of smoothing ever. Let's get that fine. I'll tell you what, actually, we're going to take advantage of the fact that this game actually has a proper smoothing tool now. So if I just smooth all of this stuff, all of the big bits, and then what we're going to do is basically just, we have 3 minutes, so grab this guy, smooth pretty much the whole thing up to here, and then watch what it does to actually give us something good. Look at that, that actually makes an element that is shaped alright, and like the stall as well looks good, you know? And we just smooth the ending, which is not good. It's not a very good ending. That shaping is far from what I would consider good, but you know what? Times are tough. So what we have to now do is very quickly change all the banking, get it all to be something that I would consider like actually okay. Actually has decent speed coming out of there too, which is nice. Doesn't feel too slow as well, which is nice. We've got 2.5 minutes. I think I just have to pretty much change all of this. Get it looking alright. This is the main thing about this coaster builder, is that there's no more like 2 meter converting or anything. You can build a coaster in 4 meter and it will be perfect because of the way that the smoothing is now handled, which seems to just be completely irrelevant of the whole thing. Again, commentary, not good. Very sorry. Didn't realise how long just adjusting banking takes. 1 minute and 10 seconds, but we are pretty much... That's not amazing. I can't... Like, 50 seconds. Okay, we really have to fix this. This went from a stall. I don't think this is a stall anymore, but you know what? It'll do. That's fine. That's fine. And that's fine. Right, okay. Now, the piece de resistance for the last 30 seconds. Grab the whole thing all the way to the 2 meter bit. And then we just... There we go. And with, I think, 20 seconds to spare, I'm pretty happy with that. I might just actually grab this guy and just pull it up. And there we go. With 11 seconds, I think that's done. And that is our Vekoma MK1101. So, in 15 minutes, we have built this thing, which is definitely one of the coasters of all time. I'm just going to quickly, whilst I talk about how well that went, fix up a few things. This isn't going to be included with the time or anything. This is literally just getting things like block sections and all this stuff done so that we can actually have 2 trains. That's very nice. And go through and get all the custom supports in. Overall, that challenge actually wasn't as hard as I think it could have been. It definitely would have been in Planet Coaster 1. It would have been absolutely awful. But in this game, because of the lovely new smoothing tool, everything felt very... Like, I wasn't limited by the actual game this time. I was limited more by my own ability to come up with a layout. So I feel like this went alright, and I feel like had I actually planned a layout, I'd been able to build it much faster because I know where to head and stuff with like curves and things. But I think what this will hopefully prove is when we do eventually check the POV after I've... Is this just not going to give me any support? I think what this will hopefully be like when we do check the POV in just a moment will be a nice confirmation that, yes, Frontier have fixed the horrible smooth tool. No supports for that section. It's held up by hopes and dreams. Sure, you can be held up like that. That's fine. But no, the actual coaster builder itself, as I've been getting to grips with it more and more recently, has just proven to be ridiculously good. And to be honest, you guys seem to enjoy like the element tutorial videos, and they've been doing quite well, and I've been quite happy with those. So I'm glad that you guys are finding them helpful too, because I know for a fact I get some feedback on those. Again, I'm always looking for ways to improve content and stuff, so I'm hoping that you guys also enjoy this video, which is a bit of a return to form. You know, we do this best on this channel. We build stupid things with ridiculous rules for literally no reason other than can you do it as the mantra. And to be honest, I think what's going to be hilarious is I had an hour last time to build this coaster, or build a coaster for a challenge, and I would be willing to bet a few of my own pennies that this coaster is going to be a hell of a lot smoother than the other one, even though I had an hour to build it last time. I can almost guarantee you that, just purely because of this coaster builder being so much better. This like weird Stengel, it's not even a Stengel dive, it's like back-to-back weird dive things that I had to build because I genuinely didn't know how to end this thing. It's just proof that when you want to end a coaster, you can genuinely just do anything as long as you think it's good enough. Chances are it probably is good enough. And there we go. So that is officially the supports done. Let me just quickly lower some terrain. We're not going to get any supports for the overbanks unless I really lower it, because the game needs a certain, I think it needs like a certain height or something to generate that style of support. There you go, you can see there. And also when it's not when it's at a weird in-between angle, it doesn't know what to generate, which is why I think as well we didn't have any here. So that is this coaster pretty much done. So I think we're going to give it a nice little color scheme of let's go for red with white support. I've just built formula. I've literally just built for... Let's go for black, actually. Black looks nice. Actually, that does look pretty nice. And let's give the trains a... I don't know. They need to be black because they're always black. And let's go for a chassis colour of like a dark grey. And then we'll go for a white, I think. There we go. So, let's give this thing a test ride. You know what? Honestly, for 15 minutes, I could have done a lot worse, I think. I'm very happy with that result. That is it's just ridiculous, like, the shaping you can get in 15 minutes will never, I think, cease to amaze me at this game. Like, obviously it's not perfect, there's some bits I would improve if I had more time, obviously, but the fact that you can basically have pretty much continuous roll, you can have all of this control over the shaping and stuff, and when you start applying smoothing to it, it doesn't then get taken away by, you know, anything trying to make it smoother. It keeps that shaping, it keeps that roll rate and stuff, and it's genuinely brilliant, the advancements that this has got. So that, to me, is testament. That was really good hotline, oh my god. Ridiculous. But yes, that should be your testament that you can indeed build a coaster in probably about the same time it would take you to figure out if your, you know, 0G roll on a B&M invert on Planet Coaster 1 was smooth or not. You can genuinely get it that perfect that quickly. So thank you very much for watching the first Planet Coaster 2 challenge video. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. I know it's probably a little bit like all over the place with my stressful building antics and stuff, and I know the coaster probably isn't as amazing as it could be, but for 15 minutes I'm not too displeased with that, and I'm hoping that maybe we can even see about 5 minutes and things, and start going for ridiculous times to see how well you can build a decently shaped and smooth coaster in this game. So thank you very much for watching. If you've got any other ideas for challenge videos or series or anything like that, please leave them in the comments, and as always, stay tuned for the next video, and I will see you all next time.